Yeah, everybody asleep because of me. Wake up.
I've been sipping since I've been 20 on that lean, baby girl. I've been popping, I've been rolling.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, it's Just Kiesha. Make sure I hit that red subscribe button, turn on your post notification, all that good stuff. Join the fam, be part of the gang, so that y'all don't miss out on any of this dope content that I got coming, that I'm gonna be uploading. And yeah, we're gonna just jump right into today's video, but make sure I'll do that. So if you already read the title, y'all already know that this is going to be a story time about my experience, my first Miami Carnival experience. A lot of y'all was like,
"Hey Kiesha, where's the vlog? Kiesha, what happened to the video?
Kiesha, what? Listen, I gotta put y'all on because my first time Miami Carnival experience was not one for the books. I mean, it was one for the books, but not like one for the books. Like, you know, it was just crazy. Before I jump right into the tea, if you're watching this and you have absolutely no idea what Miami Carnival is, basically Miami Carnival is like a celebration amongst Caribbean people, whether it be Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, St. Lucia, like all of the Caribbean cultures that you can possibly think of all come together, dress up in costumes, look nice, go to fetes, which are parties, eco food, just vibe out, literally just vibe out. And it's literally all over the world. They do it in Canada, they do it in New York, Miami, all the Caribbean islands, Jamaica, Trinidad. Hello, that's where it's like. So now let's just get to the tea, because honestly, yeah, you know how they say like when something is like going too good, it's too good to be true. That was literally our whole planning process. Like everybody was just on point with their money. All of the events, we were in agreement, outfits, everything was just flowing. And then the day we landed, that's when all the nonsense started. So like, let me just jump right into like the costume. So I played with Freaks Mask. That's the band that I played with, and my section was called Arian Hot or something like that. I don't even know. I'll post a picture of what the costume was supposed to look like. Yes, supposed to, because what I got ain't that. But yeah, so Freaks were all over the place, like all over the place. They weren't all over the place when it came to collecting that coin, but they were all over the place when it came to dispersing costumes, like crazy all over the place. So our costume pickup was supposed to be initially scheduled for Friday, and they had like time frames from like 10 a.m. to like 11 p.m. or whatever. Our flight landed Friday at 3 p.m. So we were like, okay, cool. Now, the same day that we're about to leave, they announced that our costume pickup now switched to 4 p.m. Like, it's not just come in as you go. It switched to 4 p.m. So our other friends that went with us, they had the opportunity to pick up their bodywear and stuff in New York, and they just had to go pick up feathers, and their flights were earlier. So they were like, we'll go get y'all's costume for you since y'all land late, and then y'all just go straight to the Airbnb, which was super generous, super nice, because they definitely did not have to do that. So they landed, and the first bit of drama was them texting us like, yo, why is this lady saying that we have to pay, I think it was $60 or $80 for the key to our Airbnb? Like, we already paid for our Airbnb, but now we got to pay for a key to get into our Airbnb. That's crazy. Like, what? That was just crazy. So like, how would we have gotten in to begin with? But anywho, so we sent the money, paid that or whatever. They settled in at the Airbnb, went back to the mass camp. Long story short, they ended up leaving the mass camp with no costume, like none, because now they're saying that we have to now come the next day to get it. And we have events and stuff that's planned around us coming out here. Like, you know, we pre-planned everything. So it's like, now it's cutting into the stuff that we have going on. So we like, okay, cool. We go to the Airbnb, get settled, and we have a party like literally right from our flight, because we landed at 3. We didn't get to the B&B and everything settled in until maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock. So we get dressed to go to our first event, which was literally a time. Like, we had such a good time. It was one of our best nights. We all got so drunk, literally so drunk. Like, my friend Kiesha was mad. So let me get to the good lighting. We went out, we got straight to our Airbnb, went out, and now it's like 12 o'clock and there's another party for us to go to. But first of all, Kiesha is smacked. Like, she is dead to the world. Like, yo, I don't know if I mentioned, we had 2 events every day. Like, literally every day we had 2 events to go to. So we had a good time at that party. We left that party, and then we're like, okay, we gotta go to the Airbnb, change our clothes, because now we gotta get ready for the all-white party. Get to the Airbnb, girl. It starts pouring down raining. Pouring down raining. Mind you, all of our tickets are already pre-bought, so it's like, what we about to do? Anika and Deandra, I'm not sure what's going on here.
We're awake. We are awake. We're just taking a rest period while we're having food. Come on, can I get my words out?
Your what?
My words. I was sitting here and then I just fell on the floor. I don't know, like I fell asleep. And I was on the phone and then I just fell.
That's what happened?
And then nobody helping me. I don't know what bag I'm taking, what shoes I'm wearing. And then 3 o'clock.
It ends at 3 o'clock, but it's 12. So is it 12?
It's 1:30 something.
No, it's supposed to hurry up.
Oh, so then we should just go and eat the pizza when we come back.
That's what I said. Just leave it
But
at
then-
the concierge when they call you. Come. Yo, we didn't
I'm
wait.
taking a
'Cause it's-
slice though.
Of what?
The pizza.
It's gonna take us 30 minutes to get there. So we're gonna get
Let's
there
go,
for
Anika.
2.
It would be better to put it in the oven.
Who's gonna pay for the pizza?
Leave the money. Leave the money.
At the end of the night, it was just 3 of us. And we were just like, we go to this party. We kept watching the weather. 5 minutes, it'll stop. Then 10 minutes, it'll start pouring down raining. Then we'll look and be lightning. Next minute, it's clear. The moment it was like good to go, we just got dressed and we was like, we out. And we left. We went to the all-white party, and although it was raining, we had such a good time, like literally such a good time. And this was all Friday night, right? So now we're getting back home and we have to get ready for Juve, which is Saturday morning. Initially they said that Juve was gonna start at 7, then they said it was gonna start at 9, then they switched it to, I don't even know what time, but I think we got there at like 11:12, if that, maybe 12:01, somewhere around there, because we weren't even going with the flow of things anymore, with what they were saying anymore, because it was just too all over the place. This is where all the nonsense starts. So we get up, we get ready for Juve, we get an Uber driver that is a straight asshole. Like, he is just like so annoying, so extra, doing the most, like asking where we going because it's in the boondocks, all types of stuff, demanding a tip when he drops us off, like just being so extra, so extra. And it was just a mess. Like, he was just so annoying. Of course, we would have this Uber driver already being an asshole, mad that he has to come so far. One of my friends leaves their phone in his Uber by mistake. So now we're like, how are we gonna get her phone back? So we're calling her phone. She had her phone on do not disturb. So we're just like, yo. So now we're trying to like figure out, can she log into someone else's Uber to report it lost or whatever. Long story short, he eventually calls back and was being real nasty about it, like saying that it's gonna take him 30 minutes and this, that, and a third, and just being an asshole, demanding like pay and all types of stuff. I wasn't gonna give him nothing, honestly, but I think they were nice enough and they gave him something. Me personally, I wasn't doing it, because first of all, sir, you're a whole Uber driver. Like, you can't act like that. You cannot act like that. You want to be an Uber driver, then you have to understand that some people is going further than you want to go. That's the point of an Uber. Like, what? So now we got her phone back, thank God. We're going to Juve. Everyone is lit. Everyone's excited. But the 2 people without the costumes, myself and the other girl, don't have their Juve ticket. Why? Because we didn't get our costume. And where's the Juve ticket? In our costume package. So we get to the gate and they're like, you gotta go get your ticket and let them know that you didn't get your costume yet, and that's why you didn't get a ticket yet. So now we leave the line, we go all the way to the back to speak to someone for them to say, oh, you have to pay for a ticket. We paid for all of this when we paid for our costume. My costume was $880 something. That included Juve, all of that stuff. And I don't know how much hers was, but it was all included. Why am I paying? Why am I paying for another ticket? I'm confused. So now we go back to our friends, and they luckily ran into someone that they knew who had tickets and got us in. But now with the Juve package, with the way it works is like, you get your ticket, you get your cup for your drinks. They were supposed to be giving breakfast, but they couldn't even make up their mind on what time they wanted us to meet. It's getting really bright. Hold on. The sun just came up. But yeah, they couldn't figure none of the stuff that they wanted to do out. So we didn't get our wristband for Juve. We didn't get our cups either. So now we're trying to find our truck, because each of the trucks are labeled with your section or with your band name. So we're trying to find the Freaks truck. Finally find the Freaks truck, and they're acting so nasty. Like if the liquor came out of their pockets, they don't want to give no drinks. Everyone's hanging on to the side of the truck like they're just like slaves begging for something that they paid for. It was just a mess. The people on the truck had the rudest attitudes. It was just a mess. It was to the point where I was just like, give me a bottle of water. Like, give me a bottle of water. I don't even want liquor at this point. Not that I could get any because I didn't have a cup, but it was just like, I'm good with the water. Doing Juve, everything is cool, everything is nice. I'm still in the back of my mind, I'm still like worried about my costume, because now this is Saturday and Carnival is the next day, and I'm like, I still don't have a costume. Granted, the mass camp is open from like usually in the morning to like 11 or whatever time. I'm still like, I'm such an organized person that I like to have like my shit in order, and because it wasn't in order, it was like still kind of messing with me. So we left Juve. And from Juve, we had a party to go to called Scorch and Spice. Now, this party, I was like, this party is going to be my party. This is my favorite party that I want to go to, because Sex the Daps is going to be performing and all of this stuff. Like, I was just so excited to go to this party. So, we get dressed, we get dressed, and we're in an Uber going back to... most of the events were in the same place, but so we were going back to the same location as the previous one for this event now. But the thing about it is that location, the service, the reception, the cell phone reception was so bad. Like literally, if you had anything to post, text, tweet, you had to do it before you hit that island, because it's like in a little island of its own in Miami. I don't know how to explain it. It's by the Marine Stadium, somewhere over there. If you're familiar with Miami, that's where it was at. So the service, everything was just bad. So we're in an Uber and we're heading there, and I'm asking my friend, I'm like, because now I'm antsy about my costume. I'm like, can you please ask your friend, like, what's the status of the costumes? Are they ready? Can we go pick them up? Like, can we leave the party and go get them? Like, I need my costume. Carnival is tomorrow. So now her heart drops in the backseat. I'm like, oh, what happened? Oh, they said if you don't have a costume, then they're just going to issue a refund. I said, what? I came to Miami to play Carnival. If I don't have a costume, I'm not going to Carnival. Like, what? How do you just... And then this is all word of mouth. It's not even being communicated to the people that spent their bread. So now I'm on the Freaks Instagram, and I'm reading the comments. It's people there saying that they're making the costumes still, they're making the backpacks still, they're doing all this stuff still. So now I'm literally not in the mood, and I'm going to the party with Dexter That's performing, and I'm supposed to be in the mood. Like, you know, this was the party that I was looking forward to. So now we get to the party, and I'm like, something in me is just like, I need to go get my costume. I need to go get my costume. So I went on Uber, and I looked to see how far the place was, and it was literally a 15-minute drive. And I'm getting into an argument low-key with them at this point, because I'm like, it's supposed to be Shensia and Dexter That's performing, and the other girl, she wanted to see Shensia, so I was just like, just stay. I'd rather you just stay. I want my costume. You really wanted to see Shensia? Stay. I want my costume. So we got into it a little bit because they didn't want me to go by myself, and I'm just like, listen, like, I need my costume. So long story short, I waited 20 minutes for a Lyft to take me there, and I get to the mass camp, and there's so much people there, and I just walked right to the front, and I'm like, I need my costume. What's your name? Gave them my name. It's a lady sitting down on the floor with an iPad or a laptop. It's mad girls standing around. It's two other ladies on this side, like, and the size of the room is literally like the size of a walk-in closet. And they're sitting down making backpacks. I'm like, what's going on? Like, where's my costume? Where's my backpack? Oh, so backpacks are the feather pieces, just to put that out there. Oh, we're not making any more. What? Excuse me? You're not doing what? I paid $300 extra on my costume for a backpack for you to tell me you're not making anymore? What? So I'm like, what? Okay, so now I'm like, so where's my costume? Where's your ID? So I gave them my ID. I showed them the other girl's ID so that I could pick up her costume. And it got to the point where I'm very impatient when it comes to me like needing stuff or getting my stuff, especially when I already paid for it, because I feel like I've worked in customer service for years, and I feel like when people is giving you money that they worked hard for, there's a certain level of delicate that you have to handle them. Like, and it's not like I spent $20-$30. I spent $800, almost $900 on something, and you're telling me that you're not making another backpack, and I already got to deal with that, process that, and still be waiting here? No. So I asked her, I said, you need help, miss? And she was like, you want to help? Because behind her are bags with everyone's names on it, and she's just sitting there, literally just sitting there with her iPad or tablet, whatever she's on. And so when she said, yeah, I got right behind her. I said, what do you want me to do? Mind you, I'm dressed to go to a party, not to be helping nobody in nobody's mass camp. So I'm like calling out the names. Barbara, Bobby, Jillian. I said, miss, can you get my costume? Like, I'm helping you. Let me get my costume. So now I'm texting the girls because they don't have service where they're at. No one knows that I even made it there. The area that I was in was really sketchy too. It was like a lot of homeless people laying on the floor, lingering outside. Like, I really was like, after the fact, I was like, damn, I could see why they didn't want me to come by myself. But that's neither here nor there. So now I give them my ID. This girl comes up to me and she's like, do you work here or are you picking up? I said, I'm literally doing both. I don't work here, but I am picking up and I'm helping her because she needs help. And then she's like, instead of her being like, well, what do you need? She's like, oh, thank God. Like, what? Girl, no. So I took that to my advantage. I said, if I'm helping y'all, please go get my costume. And I gave her whatever. She ran upstairs. She got my costume. I was waiting on the other girl's costume for a minute. And then I sent the text like, does it make sense for me to come back? Nobody was answering. And then finally they was like, I'm getting text message from the other girl saying how it was lit and this, that the party was lit. And I was kind of annoyed because I'm like, yo, you should have been here getting your own shit too. Like, while I'm missing out on something that's lit, I'm waiting for your shit. You should have been here getting your shit too. I really felt some type of way about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna get more upset than what I was. I was gonna go back to the Airbnb, but I was like, you know what? I paid for this party. I'm just gonna take the costumes to the party. I asked one of the girls, I'm like, do you think it'll be okay? They said, yeah. So I left after I got our costumes. I had actually offered to pay extra for a back piece, and they told me if I come back in the morning I could get it. So they basically lied about not being able to make it. They just didn't want to make it. But I said I was going to pay extra just out of me being desperate for my back piece, but whatever. So I got in the Uber to go back to the party, and they sent me a picture of like the area that they're in, because at this point the party is packed. Shansia's already performing. I have my costume. I have the costume, so the bag is heavy because I have two costumes. So I'm like making my way towards the direction of where they said they were standing, and I get as close to the front of the stage that I can. I know they were like all the way in front of me, but I get as close to the front of the stage as I can. So Shansia had just finished performing when I got there. And they were about to put Dexter Daps on the stage, but you know how they do like a little intermission where they have like up and coming artists perform and stuff like that. They were doing that, and I did see a bottle get thrown on the stage. So I'm thinking they probably just not feeling the artist on stage. They just booing him, whatever the case may be. It wasn't until after I had communicated with my friends that that was a whole fight that was happening up there. But because I'm so little, I'm like 5'2", I couldn't see none of that. So now Dexter Daps comes on stage, and I'm like, you know what, Kiesha, you paid your money. I know you just went through a whole bunch of shit, but you paid your money. You are gonna just do what you gotta do and vibe with the strangers around you, because Dexter Daps is coming on stage, and this is what we came here for. Not even maybe two songs in, I'm sitting there, I'm now vibing, I'm now getting into it. I was seeing him good. 2 songs in, I put my phone down like this because I hear a lot of commotion, and it's I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but grown ass men fighting, and guess who's directly in the path of where they're coming? Little old me. Little old me gets knocked down, glass goes into my foot. I'm still holding costume, phone in one hand, my other Dior sandal went left, I'm bleeding, cut on my shoulder. Okay, yeah, so I left my Dior sandal for dead. I didn't even care about it at that point, and I went directly to the front of the stage because I'm like, there was a tent. I'm pretty sure if something was like that was to happen, maybe they would have just went all under the tent because everything was coming back this way. So I'm looking for the tent. I don't see nobody. I can't, like, they're calling me, but every time I answer the phone, it's quiet because there's no service. So I'm like, fuck. So now I'm standing here, I'm looking. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, we're all separated. I have no idea what to do. There's so much going on. Some people are still vibing. Dexter Daps is still performing. Like, it was like, was he even still performing? I don't even know. But there was music still playing. And I'm just like, what the hell? So then I end up looking at my phone and I see a bunch of messages coming through our Miami Carnival group chat. And it's like, I'm leaving. I'm by the police. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm in the front looking for y'all. And y'all leaving. I'm about to get in Ubers. All this, that, and the third. So I'm like, what? So I immediately started crying. I just started crying. Because I'm like, yo, this cannot be my life right now. So now I'm walking with a bloody foot, one foot basically barefoot because one foot is bleeding. The other one, I have my shoe in my hand. I don't know why. I just didn't put it on my foot. And this guy saw me and he just was like, what happened? Like, he saw it was like shoes, purse, like the area where I got trampled in was like empty, and there were shoes, purses, puddles, like everything was everywhere. And he saw my foot was bleeding and he took his phone and he shined his light. He's like, where's your shoe? And I'm like, it fell somewhere. Like, I'm crying, like, it fell somewhere when they knocked me over. And so he shined his light and he found my Dior slide. He found my sandal and he gave it to me and he like helped me walk out. And so now, like, you guys know when you're in panic, like, even if the person is not around you, like, the first person you call is either mom, dad, husband, wife. So my husband was already here and I was just like in panic. So I'm like, I called him and I'm crying, but I'm frustrated with him because he's not hearing me because the reception is so bad and I'm scared and I can't find my friends. It was just a whole bunch of shit going on. So then finally, I see where everyone is at. We get in an Uber. We're getting ready to go back to the Airbnb and everyone is just quiet. I'm like sniffling because I was crying hard. One of my friends is just mute because the glass bottle got thrown towards her and a guy ducked and it almost hit her. Everyone was just over the way that the night went. Literally over it. So we get back to the Airbnb and I was like, let's just see our costumes. Let's just see how they look. Because at this point, I saw how they looked, but I wasn't like Inspector Gadget. I was just like, okay, thank you. Let me go. So now we're looking at the costumes. And they're nothing like they're supposed to look. Nothing. First of all, the costume that they gave me was a size large when I'm an extra small. The bottoms that they gave the other girl was a medium and she's a large. So now we have to find a way to finesse it. Our costume literally turned into a DIY project. Literally turned into, like, literally, it was falling apart before we even got to the parade. It, like, literally everything was falling apart. By the end of the night, I had a scrunchie holding my arm piece. Like, my arm piece was connected to a scrunchie and the scrunchie was around my wrist to keep the arm piece on. I had to keep a flag in front of my vagina because my panty kept popping off and I just didn't want it to be out there while I was, you know. So yeah. So it was literally to the point where we had to just figure it out. Now, the other girl, she had went the next day or the next morning. She was like, I'm going to go see if they're going to give us the backpack like they said. I don't know why we listened. Drive to the mass camp the next day, morning of, like they said to, for them to be closed. So Jokes on us. Like, no backpack. Costumes just a mess. It was just a mess. Like, a mess. $800, almost $900 down the drain. Like, literally, if I could have just took the $900 and shoved it down the drain myself, I basically, that's what it seemed like. Like, you know, like, so bad. So now it's Carnival Day. I actually had a lot of fun during Carnival because it was just like so much was going on leading up to it. I was just like, no, I told the girls, I was like, regardless of what, like, I just want to have a good time. Like, I just want to have a good time. I was just like, I'm just going to make the best of it. I'm just going to have a good time. And that's what I did. I had fun. Like, I literally had fun Carnival Day. I was very tired. There were a couple fights in our section, some between girls, some between men and women, some between men and men, but thankfully none involved myself or anyone that I was with, so that was good. Carnival was good. Like, I wouldn't say that there was anything wrong with Carnival other than the fact that I just didn't have my full costume. I was really tired, and we were supposed to go to a Carnival after party, but that did not happen. I said before we even left, I'm not going. Like, the amount of times the guy on the truck was like, we about to cross the stage. So for y'all that don't know, the stage is like where you perform in front of your costume for judges. He said that like 10, 15 times, and we was nowhere near the stage. So I'm getting hyped thinking, okay, it's almost done. We almost there. I'm like, no, we not. Like, it's like, just so, it was so crazy. But I had fun Carnival Day. So now the next day is supposed to be chill vibes. We were supposed to do like a nice breakfast at our B&B. About to wake them up.
I ain't getting no sleep because y'all.
Yeah, everybody was asleep because of me. Wake up.
And then there was an event called Glass House that I was really excited about too, because the theme was just giving like brunch vibes, but at the same time it was like classic man, like, you know, like everyone's supposed to be best dressed type thing. And I went hard. We all went hard for our Glass House outfit. And if you ask me, we was best dressed there. Like, we all went hard for our Glass House outfit. I'll post my Glass House outfit here. I literally shitted. I don't care what nobody says. I shitted with my Glass House outfit, from makeup to hair to everything. Like, I was giving, period. We all were, period. So we were excited for Glass House because all of our fits, all of our makeup, all of our hair, everything just came out so bomb. So bomb. Get to Glass House and we looking around like, wait, did we misread the flyer? Because it's not giving what the flyer gives. Like, everyone was just dressed like they was going to, I don't even know. I wouldn't even say brunch, like somebody's backyard or something. I don't know. But then there were people that were there that actually looked really, really nice. So we got there, we had paid for our section, we had paid for bottles, we had paid for hookah. And the hookah was not, it was not cheap. It was $125, like $125 for unlimited refills, but you gotta go get the refills, meaning you gotta stand online. So it was like kind of like a catch to it. It's not like they're just bringing the coal and a refill whenever. No. So $125 for hookah, and then we had paid for the 2 bottles of Henny and a bottle of Casamigos and the section. So we vibing, everything looks nice, we getting pictures, sun is hitting, everything is nice. Like, we just ready to have fun. Maybe an hour maybe an hour and a half into the party, if that, the music turns off. What happened? What's going on? Because there's no service, according to what they posted on Instagram, because there's no service, they were unable to communicate with the people that's working for the event that they needed help because the line was getting long. So now, because the line was getting long, the people decide, we're going to bust this fence down. We're going to push the fence down. And that's what they did. They pushed the fence down. They pushed the fence down to get into the party. So now Glass House fire marshals is like the Saint Save. y'all gotta do better. We gotta discuss if the party's gonna go on or not. So now we standing here for another hour with no music, literally taking hookah sticks and banging Moet bottles. Making music, listening to music off of our phones and dancing, making rhythms on the table, like literally a mess, just a hot ass mess. So now I see like people packing up. I'm asking the people, the security, like what's going on. They don't know. It's not definitive yet. So then I see a guy on stage grab his laptop, and I'm like, he must have been a DJ. And he grabbed his laptop and put it in his book bag, and he walked past me. I'm like, hey, you coming back? He was like, no, sweetheart, it's over. I was like, wow. Wow. Just wow. It was to the point where like I just had to laugh. Like, what? But it gets better. It gets better. So everybody got to leave the party. Everybody's leaving the party at the same time. It was a huge event, so it's so many people there. So of course, calling an Uber is a problem. I called 3 lifts. They all got canceled, and the one that picked up was on his way. And then he called and said, hey guys, a bad accident happened on the bridge, so they're closing the bridge down, so I can't get to you. What? They closed the bridge down, so he couldn't get to us, and we couldn't get an Uber coming from the other way. So guess who had to walk a 7-mile bridge? We did. And the only reason I know it's 7 miles because after a while I started paying attention to the signs, y'all. I literally did. The shit went from 3 to 6 to 5 to 7. Like, I was paying attention to the signs. So it was just a mess. There were a group of guys that had offered to drive us over the bridge. But, you know, if one person say no, it's a no all around. If one person say yeah, then we all got to be on the same page. And if it was no, it was no. Like, so we said no, we good. We don't know y'all like that. He like, oh, it's the 8-passenger truck. Y'all be good. Don't worry. Be like, nah. So we get to Troop and we start walking. It's a bunch of us too. Like, it's mad of us. It's mad of us walking this bridge. Niggas really have to walk across the whole bridge, y'all. It was an accident, so no cars can pick us up. When I tell you, I am never doing this shit again. No cars could come from that way. We literally walking on a fucking bridge. Like, I'm gonna put some clips here. It's mad of us walking this bridge, and it's pitch black outside, and we just live it. Like, it's to the point where we just had to laugh at certain aspects of it because it was just like, what? Like, how is this even a thing right now? Because I remember, you guys, I had glass stuck in my foot, so all of the marching and stuff from Carnival the very next day to now walking on a bridge, like the bottom of my foot just kept getting swollen. Like, it never had a chance to really just like heal. So the other 2 girls, they were walking trying to stay with the group because like we're literally in a bike lane on a highway, and y'all know in Miami they drive real fast. So it's like they were trying to stay with the group because they figured like if a car is coming they could see more of a group than like 1 to 2 people. So that made sense. But my foot is swelling up, and I'm not realizing that I'm backtracking because I still see people in front of me, but I don't see them. And then behind me, I know my other friends are there, but I just can't see them. So I'm not realizing how far in front of me they are now. So I'm like, okay, let me call somebody. So at least I could be on the phone with somebody. So one of my friends, Tesla, he called me on Instagram, and I guess he was on his way to work, and we were on FaceTime via Instagram, and I was like, he was just laughing at me, and I was texting my other girlfriend Kadisha and sending her like videos of where I was at, because I'm like, yo, if something happened to me, somebody gonna know, like somebody needs to know. Like, so now we get to the end of what I think is the end of the bridge, at least, because I don't see a bike lane anymore. And I'm like, okay, I see buildings. I'm thinking we're going to be by a location where I could call an Uber. My phone is dying, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to hang up the phone. Hung up the phone. Only to find out that where I'm about to walk is underneath this dark ass underpass. Like, again, here we go. Like, son. So now it's pitch black. No street lights, no nothing, and I'm walking here literally using my phone that's dying as a flashlight to guide my way. I look behind me and it's another dark ass alley where anybody could come and just grab my little self, and all my friends is back there, the other ones is up there, and I'm just here. And then there's a group of people, but I'm not with them. Like, you know, anything happen, I don't know y'all. Y'all know me. Like, I don't know if y'all gonna rock with me. Y'all gonna do anything. Like, you know. It's just so crazy. So now we get to the edge, and I'm waiting for my friends that's in the back. Meanwhile, the other two girls in the front are trying to hurry up because it's men talking about pulling out guns. Like, we get off of a 7-mile bridge to walk into 2 men about to pull out some guns. Like, what? Y'all, I could not wait to leave. Like, I could not wait to leave. I just felt like, you know how they say Mercury is in retrograde or whatever it's called? I literally felt like that, whatever that shit is, was just haunting us the entire trip. Like, there was not a day where we could just fully catch a break and just say we're gonna have a good time, no problems, no nothing. It was just something after the next, like literally every single time. I definitely feel like it was just because this is the first carnival after COVID. Everything was just all over the place. They took on way more than they can handle, and it's after COVID, so like, you know, everyone is just getting acclimated again. I can give them that. I can be optimistic and give them that. But yo, nah, not the way that it went down for me. Like, it's just like, no. Maybe next time they'll have it together. Hopefully next time they have it together. I definitely want to experience it differently another time around. But yeah, this wasn't it for me, y'all. This was not it for me. And that's why I couldn't properly vlog, because honestly, I just could not put out content that I just felt was forced, or like, you know, I wasn't in the mood. There were times where I was vlogging, I was having like a good time vlogging, and then every time I got into it, something happened, like, you know. So yeah, this was my Miami Carnival experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed my story time. Y'all know I don't really do story times like that. If y'all want to see more story times, make sure y'all comment that down below. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video really soon. And don't forget to subscribe. I forgot to say that. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye, y'all.